I'd like to share some tips and secrets with you from my experience of working in the event industry. Recently, I was chatting to a bride, and she was telling me all about her plans and how amazing everything was going to be at her wedding, and how she had lots of ideas about what was going to go into her big day. And then suddenly she turned around to me and said they want to have something in particular, but her venue had said they didn't do that at their venue. That's something that very rarely happens in the corporate market. Those things have always been resolved before we get to the event, or they don't even come up at all. We know what we're doing. So I just want to share with you some important tips and tricks that we use in the corporate event industry to help get things done and build a good relationship with your suppliers, and just make the planning of events much easier and much simpler, so they run smoothly on the day and everything fits together. So let's take a simplified example of how a corporate event fits together and the differences between that and planning a wedding. So a business has an idea, they want to put that together in an event. Also, along with their idea, they'll have a budget of how much they want to spend on that event. Very similar to what I expect you might do with your wedding. They will go to a corporate event company that will help them fit everything together. They'll also give them a list of other ideas that they might want to include, and they'll also work everything around their budget. So a corporate event company will have preferred suppliers such as myself, which they work with and have spent a lot of time building that relationship with those suppliers. They will let me know what the budget is so I can pitch a price appropriately with that, and I can provide something that's going to fit perfectly. They'll also talk to me about other suppliers and what I can help provide, and also who I like to work with. They'll also run past ideas with me. If there's any ideas that the client has that we are not sure about, then I will discuss that with the event organizer as well, and we can sort of hone that down. So how does this differ from a wedding, you might be asking yourself? Or what can we learn from the corporate event company and the way they do their planning? First thing, just like a business would do, you have your ideas of what you want for your wedding day, and also get an idea of your budget. Those are the most two important things. So think about your budget. Once you've got that budget established, then you need to think about how you're going to fit everything together and where you want to put the emphasis on spending your money, whether it's going to be making the venue look fantastic, perhaps the bar tab or the entertainment for the night. The next thing you'll probably have booked is your venue. So start communicating with your venue. Ask them if they've got a wedding coordinator, and ask them if they've got any preferred suppliers. But you're probably not going to go to an event company to start organising the rest. So how can we work around that, and how can we do something that's similar to that sort of format just to help you plan your wedding day? Maybe also you want to choose a wedding planner and go down that route of taking advice from a professional wedding planner, which is a fantastic way of getting ideas and putting everything all together. So at this point, it's all about research, finding out who's around, what suppliers are around your area, and what suppliers are going to fit with your ideas. A wedding is all about you and your ideas and your personalities, what you want for your big day. So find those suppliers, get an idea of prices that they might charge, and also don't forget to talk to them about other suppliers, because we're all in the industry because we enjoy not only our jobs, but we enjoy working at weddings. So the suppliers that you might meet, just bear in mind that they've done hundreds, if not thousands of weddings. They will have seen the good, they will have seen the bad, they'll have seen everything that fits together. And quite often when you see a good supplier, we talk with each other and we will have each other's details, and we'll gladly recommend. Just a little note here, what you don't want to be doing at this point is going through web directories and the free inquiry directories and inquiries of, oh, how much are you? Because two things: one, you'll just break down that relationship with the suppliers, and also you'll just confuse yourself with all these varying ideas. Try and concentrate on building a relationship with the suppliers that you believe you are going to be using at your wedding. This will be the point where a corporate event company will start piecing everything together, piecing all the suppliers together. And just the same way, you need to take control at this point. One of the other things that you might be thinking is that a corporate event company, they have more buying power over the suppliers. Well, yes, they do, because those suppliers know that if they do a good job for that company, event company will come back to them, giving them many more jobs and building that relationship again. This is probably why people think that as soon as you mention a wedding, a supplier will add a zero to the cost. The truth is, the same suppliers will probably be working for those corporate event companies as will be working in the wedding industry as well. If you know the right way to work with your suppliers and you've built a relationship, you can use that as a way of giving yourself a little bit of buying power. If you've done your research, you know the rough prices that those suppliers are going to charge. Tell them what you want to spend. Tell them what is available in your budget, and they'll either work out a package that's going to fit, or you can negotiate for the right amount. Also use a factor of recommendation to get a better deal from your suppliers. If there's a supplier that I like working with, if there's a photographer that I know is going to get some brilliant photos, but also they will know what I do, I know what they do, and between us we will get great results. He will get great photos, I'll get great reactions, everything will flow smoothly, and also you will get fantastic photos for your wedding. And the same goes with venues. I know if a wedding is at a particular venue, I will be prepared to negotiate to give the couple probably a slightly better deal than if it's a venue that I don't know, because I know the venue, my job's slightly easier, I know everything's going to be smoother on the day because I know the wedding organiser at that venue, and so they'll gladly recommend and I'll gladly give that back. Of course, this is my personal preference, but some suppliers might be different. So build that rapport and also be honest with your suppliers, honest about your budget and what you can afford. Because at the end of the day, we all know that a wedding can be an expensive day, and we as suppliers, we want to make that day really special for you. And that's why we're doing the job that we do. So yeah, build your rapport and you will get some great suppliers on your day that fit together perfectly. And then that comes down to the next point that the corporate event organisers tend to do, and they take control. So for example, if they want dancing, juggling elephants on the entrance to a doorway or something like that, they will go out and they will try and make that happen. It might just be a case of making sure that everything's been risk assessed and those sort of things have been tied in, so the venue is more comfortable with what they do. When it comes to take control, let the venue know what you want rather than asking, oh, can we perhaps have this? Because the chances are the venue will go with the easy option of going, well, we're not quite sure that will work. You get a good supplier in there, a professional supplier in there, they can make that work, and they can make that work with the venue. So take control to get your ideas to happen on the day. That's the important thing. You've got your ideas and you want it all to, don't be a bridezilla, obviously. Do it in a polite way and you'll get those ideas to happen. If you've got a wedding planner, they are invaluable in this situation, just to make sure everything fits together. And so my final point on getting the most out of your suppliers and what we see at corporate events. The corporate event companies, they know how to get the best out of their suppliers, and that is simply they look after them on the day. Quite often I see on forums, on Facebook and that kind of stuff, of couples asking, well, should we feed our suppliers on the day? Should we give our photographer drinks at the bar or something like that? I'm speaking from a supplier's point of view here, but if you want to get the most out of your suppliers, make sure they're comfortable, they want to feel part of your day, and the best way of doing that is just to make sure they've got what they need. Corporate event companies, they will ask us if we have a rider. For weddings, obviously, you don't need to go to that extent, but just let your suppliers know on the day that there's a tab at the bar. They're working professionals, they're not going to abuse that, they're not going to cause you £100 worth of beer bills, it's just probably going to be maybe £5 for a couple of drinks or anything like that. So yeah, chat with your venue and make sure there is something there for any of those suppliers that are going to be there on the day. So there you go, guys. I hope that's given you a little insight on how the corporate event industry works in just that way of getting a little bit more out of suppliers, getting the right suppliers and planning in a stress-free way. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please subscribe below, hit the like button, and if you've got any comments or you've got any topics that you want me to discuss in the future, then please leave them down below. Thanks for watching.